Ravi Shankar Prasad, senior leader, BJP MP, joins me live tonight on India Matters. Mr. Prasad, thank you for your time and being with us here on NDTV. My first question to you, sir. You've called this a historic moment where a chief minister has personally dashed into a private person's house to interfere with a raid. We know that the Enforcement Directorate has alleged that Mamata Banerjee personally has taken away some material. According to you, Mr. Prasad, what is Mamata Banerjee attempting to hide?
First of all, historic moment I haven't said. For the first time in the history of independent India, such a shameful conduct and behavior by a sitting chief minister of 14 years, who has been a union minister, knows governance, forcibly goes to a private property, stalls the raid forcibly by the aid of a police commissioner and DGP and snatches papers. One thing you must remember, the raid did not happen in the office or residence of Mamata ji, nor even in the office of TMC, nor any leader. It was a consulting firm where the raid has taken place in the wake of coal scam and money laundering charges, in which one of the transactions also named them. They have said it publicly in their press statement, and today in the High Court with the petition they have filed for a CBI proceeding against Mamata government because of all this and rescue of paper, they have outlined all these things in detail before the High Court. Now, will a chief minister go and snatch papers? What she was trying to hide? What they are trying to conceal? The suspicious circumstances surrounding her conduct is astounding. They could have gone to the court, High Court or Supreme Court. Mamata ji rushes to court at the drop of her hat. But I will personally snatch papers from a private premises with the aid of my police and install the ED. That is a very, very disturbing element in the body politic of the country. That is shameful. And the country will have to account for it. And I'm sure this shows the utter desperation of Mamata Banerjee. And surely she is going to meet her Waterloo 3 months thereafter. We all know it very well. But no comment by Congress party or anyone else. That is the larger question.
Mr. Prasad, Mamata Banerjee and the Trinamool's defense is that this may have been a private property, this may have been a political consultancy, but they are the agency that have been hired by the Trinamool, and therefore, sensitive documents pertaining to election strategy could have been, taken away. So she has accused the BJP of using the ED to spy on her election tactics in order to apply pressure and squeeze candidates in this election. That's the insinuation, sir.
First of all, there is forum or not. They could have said the same thing in the court, asked for stalling the ID proceedings, no documents be returned. How can a chief minister snatch? And is this the first time it is happening? When Mr. Rajiv Ranjan, the police commissioner, was subject to CBI inquiry in the case of Narda Sharda scam, did she not offer a dharna? You know it very well, for the whole night.
Yeah.
The CBI officers were arrested. The Calcutta High Court had to intervene. In the case of Sandesh Khali, what happened? You know it very well. Ultimately, it became a big movement and the High Court had to intervene and Supreme Court had to intervene and the main sheikh was arrested. What happened in case of KG Kar Medical College rape case? Did she not sought to frustrate the entire investigation in a case of a woman who was victim of a rape? These are only some of the instances, and let me tell you, I have travelled very extensively in Bengal in the case of loot and snatching of ballot papers, in the case of Nagar Panchayat and the Gram Panchayat elections, where people are not allowed to vote. They are not allowed to file nominations paper. How they are scared, how they are beaten. I have seen myself visiting villages. Therefore, let Mamata not talk of democracy. And this only shows her desperation, as I said. But again, I repeat my charge. What was so compelling suspicious circumstances surrounding that Mamata had to personally rush and snatch all those papers? That is something very, very serious. And by the way, ED is investigating and also doing the raid in connection with the money laundering charges, which they have publicly explained. Can you deny that coal smuggling is not there? Can you deny that money laundering charges are not there even in case of high-ups of Trinamool? You all know it very well. But here we are in a particular instance today. And by the way, I forgot to tell you, even the High Court hearing was frustrated today. The judge, under utter desperation, adjourned the case to 14th because all the Trinamool supporter lawyers almost dashed into the court and not allowed the hearing to proceed. These are circumstances, governor being threatened, all these being threatened, BJP leaders are being threatened. No opposition leader is allowed to proceed in the entire state. And coming from Mamata ji, I must repeat, she has fought against the fascism and barbarism of left. Kudos to her. But her own actions surpasses even that. She has mastered that art. That is a matter of great concern, deeply disturbing. Because it shows her desperation. Therefore, this Maha-Jangal Raj is going to end soon when the elections are taken place.
Mr. Prasad, the case will take its own course. The ED process will take its own course. But as a long-time Bengal watcher, and as you said yourself, you've traveled extensively inside Bengal, what is your sense of what Mamata would be trying to hide? Going there and removing documents, as you said, what would she be trying to pull away from the site, sir?
There are many skeletons in the cupboard. Okay? You remember crores of money were recovered from the house or flat of a minister, including her partner, his partner. Therefore, when the skeletons start coming out, they'll keep on tumbling. But again, the suspicious circumstances, why she was compelled to rush herself, that is, obviously it will become a big issue in the elections. It will become, and let it become. The people of Bengal are frustrated, angry, and fed up with this Maha-Jangal Raj. Surely they will reply in the elections.
Final question, Mr. Prasad. We saw the drama that played out in Delhi today with many of the Trinamool MPs protesting. They were dragged away. The very familiar sort of political drama that played out. Do you think in some ways this has handed Mamata an issue to roar about and to accuse the BJP of trying to victimize her? Those are very compelling pictures that were beamed out, sir.
Come on. What compelling picture? You barge into the office of the Home Minister and police will be keeping quiet. Do you suggest that the BJP leader should barge into the office of the Chief Minister in Calcutta? What do you say that? Let them do all the drama which they have done. It is their right. But the serious charge of corruption and the compelling circumstances of reaching there and snatching the paper is a very important political statement. Thank you.
Ravi Shankar Prasad, thank you very much for your time tonight.